Today on the channel, we talk about the upcoming apocalypse with Marvel Select Apocalypse.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Select unboxing and review. And today we've got the long-awaited, much-anticipated Apocalypse. But remember, for all your Apocalypse needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $59 does ship free. Got to get a deal out there, folks. And I did not pick this up at Entertainment Earth, as I actually picked it up at my local toy store. And this is one of those things, feels like we pre-ordered this well over a year ago. Kind of forgot about it. Of course, there's millions of action figures coming out every day, it seems like. Forgot all about this figure. Walked in, front door, right there at the counter, they had that on display. I said, I don't mind if I do. So I grabbed this Apocalypse right here, and very happy to have this in my collection, as I've been really looking forward to this Apocalypse. As Apocalypse, gun to my head, hopefully nobody does that, but if they did, I would say, you know what, I think Apocalypse is my favorite X-Men villain. I always loved Apocalypse, loved that he could grow in size, loved the backstory on Apocalypse, loved the 4 horsemen of the Apocalypse he would have with him. Just an all-around very cool character. And we'll, of course, do some comparisons to other Apocalypse figures in this video later on. But we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's check out the old Apocalypse himself here. And this is one of those Marvel Select, Diamond Select figures that is really nice, because you can put this with your Marvel Legends if you want to. We do know some of the bigger figures, they scale really well with Marvel Legends. But some of the other normal size figures, let's call them, maybe a little bit out of scale, more in scale with your McFarlane toys if you want to go to that universe. But Apocalypse is going to work great because of him being a guy that changes size at will. He fits perfectly with Marvel Legends. So if you want a little bit upsized Apocalypse, this is going to be the one to get. Looking really good in the package there. Unfortunately, one of his hands fell out of the spot there. It's at the bottom of the package bouncing around, but that's a little unfortunate, especially if you're a mint-on card collector. But luckily, I'm opening this up, so it's okay. Got Apocalypse on the side, Marvel Select. Apocalypse, a little picture of him, a little glamour shot. I think that was from his high school yearbook, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can fact check that if they need to. Apocalypse on the side, looking only like an Apocalypse would look if he was in the Diamond Select line from Marvel Select. And on the back there, more glamour shot action, UPCs, things like that. Let's see if it says anything good about Apocalypse back here. Oh, we got a blurb. We got a blurb for him. Born in the small Egyptian settlement of Aqaba. Oh, Aqaba. Beautiful this time of year. Not a lot of people know about it, I understand, but boy, if you can ever make the trip, do it. Trust me there. Almost 5,000 years ago is where he lived. The being originally dubbed En-Saba Nur was the world's first known mutant. Nur struggled through countless ordeals, all the while formulating an ideology akin to survival of the fittest. Using advanced alien celestial technology, oh, some of the best technology, let me tell you, as well as its own almighty mutant powers, Nur became the mighty conqueror Apocalypse. Influencing history throughout the ages and re-emerging in the modern era to wreak havoc alongside his chosen harbingers, the Horsemen. This is based on his appearance in Marvel Comics. 16 points of articulation, designed by Eamon O'Donoghue, who I believe we remember from He-Man stuff, is where I remember that name from. And sculpted by Gentle Giant Limited. How about that? 2023 Diamond Select Toys. Proof of purchase. Find a comic shop. There it is. All right, without further ado, we're going to pull him out of the package. Got to set Apocalypse free to just terrorize the world. That's the way he does these things. Got him right there. There is that fist. We always know love is a fist, like Mr. Bungle told us many moons ago. Off to the side, the rare off to the side. See you later. Oh, we do get one of these books. I always love these things. Do we have anything new? That's the thing. We get a lot of the same old here. What do we got going on? It is same old, same old. We got Taskmaster Thing, Captain Marvel, Sandman, Hulkbuster, Iron Man, Psylocke, Immortal Hulk, Mighty Thor, Spectacular Spider-Man. We've seen all these. And then we got the Disney exclusives on the back. So nothing fun here. I like to have new ones every once in a while. Bam, see you later. Just not in the cards. Just not in the cards here. But the Plastic Prison is in the cards. Good to see Apocalypse in the Plastic Prison. Gonna have to cut him out. We got twist ties all over the place. And like I said, Apocalypse Probably my favorite villain. I know some people probably say Magneto, maybe Sabretooth, but I always akin him to more of a Wolverine villain. But Apocalypse was one that really stole my heart at a young age. Just reading his backstory, of course, his time in the Marvel X-Men animated series back in the day in the 90s. I really enjoyed that. And then really where I really fell in love with him was his Toy Biz figures. We had the first one that had kind of the telescoping arms and legs, which was neat enough at the time. But the one I really loved was the next version of Apocalypse that came out. Just a little bit chunkier, a little bit more meaty. Always loved that figure a whole lot. Was always glad to get that one when that came into my Fig Fed. Kind of like the second version of Sabretooth. I like the first version okay. See you later. But the second version in the old school Toy Biz line of the early 90s, that was the Sabretooth for me. Much like Apocalypse was kind of the same way going on. See you later off the side. I put a garbage can there. I'm glad I did. It's really taking some load pressure off my vacuum. I can tell you that much. But now we got Apocalypse out of the package, and let's break down what we got with Apocalypse. Of course, he's got two open hands. Gotta have the fist. When all else fails, Apocalypse is just going to pound you into the ground with his fist. So we do have that. Nice blue, very mechanical, very steel-like fist here, but looking really nice. Always love to have the option of the fist. But for me, I don't know if I'm going to use any kind of hands on him because you get the cool attachments that kind of come off of him. You do get the big old pinchers. This is when he pinches the X-Men. You come up from behind him and pinch him in the back or, something like that, or pinch him on the neck. Really dangerous move there, but it's got a drill, a little spike inside. Looking very good, looking very mechanical. Does not have any movement to it. It's not like it goes back and forth like the old school Toy Biz or even the Marvel Legends version. Just plugs in, is what it is. And as we always say with these Marvel Select figures, they're really crossing the border of figure and statue. They're somewhere right in between, so we don't get all the movability out of that like we'd like. Big old ball hand, how about that? That's a bad day at the office. You get hit in the face with one of these. You got that, just plugs in as a hand. Big old ball, bam, spike right there in the face. You're done for. You're done for if Apocalypse hits you with that. A very cool attachment here is this drill attachment, so you can drill into the ground, drill into your face, drill into the wall, whatever he needs to do. He can do it, so we do get that as well. Love the silver color against the blue. I always love that blue color to Apocalypse, always looking good. So you got plenty of different hand adventures you can go down the path of if you want to. Now we get down to Apocalypse himself. First thing we notice is those wires. Of course, Apocalypse always has these wires coming out of him. And I gotta be honest, they're very annoying. All the way back, every figure I've ever had from Apocalypse, these have been annoying. They either pop out, they break off. There's always something annoying with these things. So I almost wish he wasn't drawn like that back in the day. They could have just left those out. But unfortunately, they are here. So they do plug into his arm very easily. They're gonna plug into very easily in there, but I'm guessing the more you move them around, things like that, they will unplug from his hand. I'm wondering how. Boy, we got very tight joints on this guy too, and then the arms fall off very easily, as we see right there as well. I guess it's good because the hands come off, so you don't want those stuck in there, obviously, but that is a little bit annoying. It seems like the back ones do not come off, so if they come off, you broke them. That's the way it's going to be there. But as usual, those are going to be annoying here. I just have a feeling. But and I don't know if they're going to move with the articulation the way we would like them to. And speaking of articulation, these are extremely tight joints. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to heat that up. That is not even going to bend on its own. Usually Diamond Select, Marvel Select figures, they bend okay for me. This one's got a bend in it. Obviously, it's single jointed. I guess let's walk through the articulation real quick. Let's get that out of the way since we're talking about it. So the elbows, you got single articulation. No dual articulation, anything like that. Forearms and hands, going to be removable. Of course, this big clip here in the middle. Arms go all the way around. Oh my gosh, could they be any tighter? So the arms do go around. You do get a bicep cut. Head back and forth, side to side. You are limited by his cowl or whatever you want to call it around there. You got limitations there. He's got the hula hoop. Very little movement, but you do have some movement at the hula hoop. You got a little bit of waist articulation there. He can do those big old Apocalypse splits. He was a gymnast back in his early days in Egypt, as we know. So the splits never left him. So he does have those still. Got the thigh cut. Single jointed, side to side, back and forth on the knees. Then you do get boot cut, no boot cut, but you do get ankles back and forth, side to side. So 16 points of articulation. He is not Spider-Man after all, and you're not going to get that kind of articulation out of him. But all day long, you look at this from a distance, you know this is Apocalypse. If you're familiar with the character, this is Apocalypse. A bigger size maybe than your Marvel Legends, which you probably mind goes to first. Definitely a bigger version of Apocalypse than what we're used to. I just don't like these piping things. They don't want to go with the arms as you move things around. they don't have a lot of range. So it really locks him in almost to his hands at his side, which that's really annoying because you want Apocalypse to have his hand up here or whatever, and I'd like these pipe to follow that, but that's not going to be the case here. But let me get back to it. It is Apocalypse here. You do know the blue and silver colors, very on point for the character. Of course, the big A on his belt. He's all about letting people know who he is. He's Apocalypse. He's big. He's bad. He's nationwide like Young ZZ Top. Looking really good. Great head sculpt on Apocalypse here. Looking really good. Always kind of that mad face on Apocalypse. He's always just ready to take over the world, basically, or get rid of people. Survival of the fittest, as they say. But looks really, really good. He's got those big shoulder gauntlets, got the cowl thing around his head like we're used to. Very mechanical looking, very scary, very fear-inducing, I guess we'll say. And like I said, these pop right off. Arms pop right on very easily. No issues there. You can just pop these in and out. I do like it, but then, okay, these do fit into here. So you just got to make sure you turn it the right way. So you got to move it around so it lines up with this, and there you go. So you can plug anything into the attachments. The problem is you bend at the arm, you move around, it limits your range of motion. That is very annoying. This needed to be up and curled more. It really limits the figure. It really almost turns this figure into a statue, because if you have this on display or whatever and these pipes are just kind of off to the side, just dangling there, that doesn't work for anybody, I don't think. So it really hinders the amount of articulation, the movements you can get out of this figure. That is a little bit more disappointing than I was thinking it would be. That is for sure. But yeah, you can plug all these things in very, very easily. Not bad, not great. I gotta say, I'm gonna be honest here. As much as I love Apocalypse, with these pipes here, it really disappoints me a little bit. It's a little disappointing for me. I got to be honest. I wanted a little bit more out of this figure than I think we received. But I do like the extra attachments, some new attachments we're not used to. I do like that idea. It's just the articulation in these pipes really hinder what you can do. And it really turns this, as we always say, and I said it earlier, they walk the line between a statue and a figure. It almost makes this feel like a statue, really, with removable hands. Is kind of how I feel about this one. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Make sure you get the Mattel stands. If you need a little extra security, he does fit on a stand. So I wanted to point that out as well. How about a little comparisons to Apocalypse? I think this is the last Apocalypse we got. Almost like an X-Men animated series Apocalypse, kind of a retro Apocalypse. Now, once again, you got these pipes going on here, but you can see they move with the figure. You can get the hands up, things like that. You really can't get that out of this Apocalypse, unfortunately. And then we do get the original Build-A-Figure Apocalypse. Very similar, a lot of reuse between these, of course, but we do get that from the Marvel Legends lines. We get two Marvel Legend Apocalypse figures right here, and then I'm going to bring out the old school big Toy Biz figure. I loved this one when I was a kid because it was Apocalypse would grow. That's what I'd use him as. Oh, he just grew, now he's going to be a big dude. And you can see that next to the Diamond Select here. Still towering over him, but getting a little closer in scale. And like I said, speaking of scale earlier, the cool thing is you can put this with your Marvel Legends if you need to very easily. It can mix in because, hey, is a guy that can move up and down in height and things, so this definitely works with some of those bigger figures like this Apocalypse. But at the end of the day, between these, I don't know if I would rate this one over any of the three here for me. For me personally, I just wish we had a little bit more pipe movement, and that's just my biggest gripe with that one. A nice kind of dull paint to him as well, not as shiny as some of the other Apocalypses, so it's a little bit of a different take there. But it looks really good from afar. It's just if you want action figure functionality out of him, it's lacking in that department if you ask me. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? What do you think about this Apocalypse? Are you going to pick this up? Have you been waiting over a year like I have? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far, you might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day, and then some. Oh yes, and then some. And then don't forget about the Patreon channel where we got even more videos, if you can believe that, and truly your best way to support the channel and all the content. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Apocalypse, Marvel Select, Diamond Select, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.